What's up, everybody? Rebel Moon Part 2, Zack Snyder's self-described war movie, hit Netflix today. There are going to be spoilers here in my review, so you've been warned. Now let's get into the movie. I'm going to open it up as I always do with my cons section, and unfortunately, this is going to take up most of the video like it did with Rebel Moon Part 1. In fact, the first thing here to kick it off is something that drove me crazy in Part 1, and it's Snyder just throwing slow-mo into his movies willy-nilly. I have never, ever seen someone so obsessed with slow-mo, and the thing that sucks is there's a few moments that it's used really well, but you've already seen it used stupidly 50 times in the first 30 minutes, so you just don't care. Then there's the cast. Well, Sophia Boutella and Jimon Hunsu were strong at the top. They're discluded from this conversation. The rest of the cast wasn't able to pull their weight, which will lead to two more problems I had. And I don't know if it's a lack of chemistry, direction, or maybe just talent that led to these weak performances, but something wasn't working. That then spiraled into two more issues, like I said, the first being the emotional gravity in the movie and in the universe for that matter. There's none. I felt nothing for the deaths in part 1, I felt nothing for the deaths in part 2, and I doubt I'll feel anything in part 3 unless it's Jimon Hunsu's character or Sophia Boutella's that dies. Not only does that build off the weak cast, but then it compounds to build off that cast and Zack Snyder's weakness of writing his own movies to mash together this story that just isn't compelling. Zack tried to make his Star Wars, got the farm, got the space Nazis, even got some of the lightsabers in some sort of way, but he missed out on what made George's movies so special, and that's the universal emotion the story held. Finally, and this one isn't so much it's bad in general, but it's bad for what I've personally come to expect from Zack, and that was the action. I watch his movies for two things, the action and the visuals. So when one of those things doesn't work, it makes for a hell of a drag of a movie. It's not all doom and gloom though. There were a few things I liked about part 2 here, so let's get into them. Kicking this brief section off is going to be those Zack Snyder visuals. This is a beautiful movie to simply look at, like many of Zack's movies are, if not all of them, there's no denying it. But something I stand by very strongly, and I've said it since last year when I started this channel, is that in 2024, you're not going to win me over with just great visuals. You might get a couple point bumps, but you've got to give me more. Also, there was a specific scene that I liked so much, I just wanted to recognize it really quick, and it was the one early on in the movie when the group returns to the farm, or the farm village, and Sam, one of the young girls from the village, has gifts for all of them. This scene, some emotion actually broke through, and I know I'm in my pros section, but it kind of turns into an issue of its own because you've got this farm girl who has, 5, 10 minutes, 15 maybe max minutes of screen time across these two movies, who is more compelling and intriguing than your fucking main characters. But I don't want to end on a downer, so props to Charlotte Maggie, the actress who portrays Sam the farm girl, who has just 5 acting credits to her name for taking the most of this opportunity, this small opportunity, and taking advantage of it. And so that'll do it for my review of Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. It's pretty clear at this point this universe just isn't going to be for me. I've sat with the characters for 4 hours now and couldn't care less about all of them, so that's where I'm at with it really. As always, I do hope it turns around with Part 3 and I can get on board with the universe, but I'm not so confident as Part 2 lands at a 4 out of 10 for me personally. Let me know what you thought of the movie though down in the comments below and make sure you have a great day.